Welcome to Troy Running Blind. I'm Troy, and today we're going to be answering questions that have come in, most of them by email. However, have had a question or two as I've been out on the street in public, and I'll be answering those as well. So if you wrote me a question and I did not respond to you personally, then it's probably answered here. So we'll get started. All right. And these are in no particular order. The first one, I've got these in a playlist, so I'm listening to them right now. All right, so the first one is, why are you shorelining in the street? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, shorelining is a technique we use to walk, and it's typically done when there isn't a sidewalk. And that's the exact reason why you're seeing me do this or hearing me talk about doing this in some of my videos, is that the streets that I'm on simply do not have sidewalks. There can be other reasons why you would shoreline. They may have a sidewalk, however, but maybe the sidewalk is broke up. It's not in great shape. So you may move out to the street because it's quicker travel. Or in some neighborhoods, they have a lot of low-lying branches, shrubs overgrowing the sidewalk. You don't want to deal with that, so you may move out to the street and shoreline. So that's the reason why you would shoreline, but I'm shorelining in those videos that you've seen mainly because there is no sidewalk on that side of the street. Now, I will say on one of the streets, there is a sidewalk on the opposite side of the street. However, the drive in the street that I'm looking for is on the opposite side of the street. So it would do me no good to take that sidewalk because I'm looking for a drive and a street on the opposite side. So I want to be on the side that I'm looking for something. I can't, when I say look, I mean checking with my cane because I can't see. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm shorelining. Second, I did add a second part to this, and is it safe to shoreline in the street? And the answer is yes. If you know the proper shorelining technique, it is safe. Anytime you're in the street, however, you are at a greater risk, obviously, because you are where the cars are, as opposed to being on the sidewalk away from where the cars are. So yes, there is a greater risk of injury. However, if you know proper shorelining technique, it's perfectly safe to shoreline in the street. Maybe a couple things you want to take into consideration. One, if it's a narrow street, if it's a narrow, busy street, I probably wouldn't shoreline in it. I'd probably hop up on the curb and shoreline the curb, walk along the curb. However, if it's a narrow street, not busy, it's fine to shoreline in it. When you get a car that comes along, just step to the side, let the car go, and then continue on. But there's no reason why you can't shoreline in the street. It is perfectly safe. All right. So, second question I had come in is, why is your cane so long? And the reason why my cane is as long as it is because I want enough time to react to something before my feet find it. And so in a structured discovery training center, we issue canes, or in structured discovery philosophy, we issue canes that are typically coming up to the eyebrows or forehead area for a person. And the reason why we want the cane that long is because it gives you about 3 steps from the time your cane tip finds a drop or a stair or something. Gives you about 3 steps before your feet get there. Okay, so it gives you reaction time. If I walked around with a cane that went up to my chest, I would have about 1 step or half a step reaction time. It's not enough time, especially if you're a fast walker. So that's the reason why my cane is so long. Also, this person asked in the same question, what kind of cane is that? So I am using a D cane, and this is made by a gentleman in the Midwest. And if you're interested, you can email me at troyrunningsblind@gmail.com, and I can get you in contact with the guy. But this guy makes these canes. It's pretty much it's a rigid yet flexible cane, does not collapse or fold. It's a rigid cane that's very flexible, and I do prefer it over even the NFB canes. So if you're interested, shoot me an email and I can get you in contact with them. All right. Okay, next question. This next question came in from a student of mine, and I'm going to answer this in general terms, and then I'm going to answer directly to my student. Okay. Question is, let me listen to it again. Okay, I have graduated from a training center, and after returning home, I am still treated as I was prior to training. How do I maintain the independence and the skills that I've got if I'm not allowed to? Okay, so this is a very common issue. You go to training, doesn't matter whether you're a young adult, it doesn't matter if you're an older adult, middle-aged adult. You go to training, you learn how to do all this stuff, and then you go back to the environment you came from, and it's like, oh, everybody wants to keep treating you the same way. And what they don't realize is you're capable of it. You just have to be given the opportunity. And so what you need to do is sit down and talk to these people. So you sit down and you talk to these people, whether it be your parents, friends, siblings, and say, listen, I put in all this time and effort in training, and you're demeaning me, and you're demeaning the training that I've had by doing things for me or telling me, you're going to do it. So the first thing I would do is have that talk. All right. The second thing I would say is take the initiative to do things. A lot of times when I talk to students and people and they have this issue, they usually, I'm going to give you an example. My student who wrote in mentioned cleaning the bathroom. Their parents do not like them to use the chemicals in the bathroom because they could splash and get on them. And this is what I'm going to tell my student. I would sit down and have that talk with your parent first, okay? And let them know, hey, this is why I went to training. I know how to do this. I've done it. You can watch me do it. but I don't need you to say anything. I don't need you to react. All right. And have that talk with them and show them and tell them that, hey, it may not be perfect every time I do it, but I know how to be safe. Okay. So having that talk and then just actually doing it, okay, showing them that you can do it, or just do it and then they can see the results later, would be, one way. The harder thing to do is when you've had that talk and nothing changes. And I'm speaking to the student who wrote in now. If you've had this talk and nothing's changed, then this may be your time to move on. As hard as that may be, in order to maintain your independence. You're a young person, and whether that be college for you or whether that be going out into the workforce, you may need to look for maybe another family member or a friend to live with, or if you're currently working, then getting your own apartment, getting your own place to live. All right. It may mean taking that next step. So you really have to think about, okay, if this bothers me this much, then I need to move on in order to maintain my independence and live my life. So if you have further questions about that, you can again email me, and I can talk to you more personally about that. But it is a very common issue to go back to the same environment that you came from and still be treated the same way. So I would start with the talk, and then just taking the initiative to do things. All right, next question. Where does your knowledge and experience come from? And were you born blind? So no, I was not born blind. I lost my sight in a car crash in 2001. I am totally blind. Most of my experience comes from going to different training centers. I did go to the Michigan Commission for the Blind shortly after I lost my sight. I did not graduate, but I did go there and learn some basics. And then once I did leave the training center, I did receive more travel lessons in my hometown. I raised 2 boys as a blind single father, and a lot of experience there, just kind of living and learning, to be honest. I did go to the Iowa Department for the Blind, which is a structured discovery center. I graduated from there, and from there I moved down to Louisiana to work as an apprentice at the Louisiana Center for the Blind. And my time down there was spent in travel. I learned how to the more advanced travel skills, and learned how to teach travel. So I went to what I feel and what most people feel is the leading training center in the country, Louisiana Center for the Blind. And beyond that, the rest is work experience. So I have taught in a bigger city like Phoenix, and all that combined has got me to where I am today. So my experience is from not only graduating from a really good training center, but also learning how to teach, and just learning from those instructors who are the best in the country, if not the world. We are if you're blind, most people come to the United States. So if you want training, so this is the place to be. And Louisiana Center is definitely one of those places. All right. Last question I'm going to do here is, all right, why did you decide to teach travel? Okay, so I had no idea that I wanted to teach travel. When I went to the Iowa Department for the Blind, I knew I wanted to go back to work. I just didn't know to do what. And I had a very touching moment of another instructor teaching another student how to cross the street. And when that student made their first street crossing, that student was so happy. She was just crying tears of joy. And I said, you know, I want to help others gain those tools to be independent. And that's kind of what started my whole process of teaching travel. And now I'm hoping to spread that on to as many people as I can on a even bigger platform outside of a training center, spreading that on to as many people as I can on this platform. So if you have any questions, please send them in to troyrunningsblind@gmail.com, and we can do more of these videos every month or two whenever we get enough questions. There were other questions that came in that were more personal that I answered, and if you have questions like that are more personal, require a more personable answer, then I would not answer them in this video. So general questions, go ahead and ask them, send them in. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps to grow the channel. Share this channel, this link on your social media platform. So until the next video, take care.